Hello ice cream friends, Crystal Slices Concession, and today we're going to talk about assembly and some maintenance information for the Carpigiani Lab 100B, this little countertop batch freezer here. And we'll start off with the beater or auger assembly. That's this right here. It's very important that do not let this fall on the floor. It's very expensive. So just make sure that you got a good grip on this when you're working with it. And don't, I would recommend don't leave it sitting like this, like on a counter or anything. You will always want to set it horizontal so that it has less chance of getting knocked over and falling. And that way, even falling over on the counter, you could damage one of these blades. So just be very careful with that. So start off with, you got it like this. We're going to take this rear seal here. We're going to slip that right over the back. And then you are going to, actually before you do that, I get a little ahead of myself here. We're going to take some food safe lubricant. Get this in orientation where you can see it here. This is Haynes Lubrifilm Plus. This is the one that I personally prefer for lubricating machine parts. And then there's also the Petrogel. Now, the reason I prefer the Haynes lubricant over the Petrogel is that the Petrogel has more like a Vaseline feel to me, kind of more sticky. It seems like it gets all over everything, and I'm sure it works just as well, but I find the cleanup takes longer when you're trying to get that off of a part, and it's just I don't know, it leads to more work, I think, but it, still just it's a fine lubricant to use if your distributor that you get parts from happens to prefer that or recommend it, or if you just have dealt with ice cream machines in the past and have used that and you prefer it more. Definitely your choice, but my personal preference is the Haynes Lubrifilm Plus. Now we'll do is we'll take some of that, just get a little dollop of it, and we're going to put that on the back of the shaft of the beater here. Just kind of spread that around, just get a nice thin coat of it on there, and then you'll have some left over on the tip of your finger there. Just grab that rear seal right there and just go around the inside of it. And we're going to go ahead and slip that right over there. Now, one thing to be careful of when you're doing this is that you're not getting lubricant on this square part right here. If you do, you'll have a very hard time removing your beater from the coupler into the gearbox. So just keep in mind with that. Now you're going to go ahead and put that right into the barrel like this. Another thing to mention here, when you're removing that beater from the barrel, you want to make sure that when you're pulling out like this, that you don't let it drop and let that end of that shaft hit the bottom of that barrel, because you can put dings in your barrel, and that can cause bacteria to grow, and it just damages your barrel, and then, so not a good deal all around. So we can go ahead and put that in there, and then while we're talking about that beater and rear seal, another thing to mention here is the importance of maintaining that rear seal. You're going to want to replace it at a minimum every 6 months. Maybe sooner. You got your drip tray here. If you pull this out and you see ice cream in here, that means that rear seal needs to be replaced like 2 weeks ago. So just always check that. Once you see things dripping in here, it's always a good idea to have one of those rear seals on hand so that you don't need to wait to have your distributor send it out to you. And you can just look up Carpigiani distributor. You can call Carpigiani USA directly, and they can get you in touch with the distributor in your area. So we'll go ahead and put that back in the machine, and we'll start talking about the actual batch freezer door assembly here. So you've got your door seal here that's going to go into this channel here. When cleaning, just make sure you're cleaning out this channel here and inside the door, because bacteria can gather in here. So just make sure you're taking that seal out and just cleaning under it. I would say you're probably going to want to replace this seal about once a year or sooner if you start to see leaks coming from behind your door. Now there's a couple different spots where you can get leaks in your door, so you want to actually verify where those leaks are coming from before you purchase a seal to replace. So that's just going to go right on this pin here, and then this beater is going to stick out about 1/2 inch because there's actually room for it to go into the door here. So we're going to close the door, pull your lever out there to seal it, and then we'll talk about the assembly of the rest of it. I have the flap off here that covers your pour chute. That's just got this pin that goes in there like that. So we're going to put that in there, and you can put the pin in. Oh, actually you have to have the door open to do this. It can go on either side, but that just slides in just like that and holds that chute flap there. And then there you go. You're not going to get splashed in the face when you turn the machine on. So then the next part to talk about here is your extraction chute cover. So this has also got an O-ring in it. Again, a place where bacteria can congregate and cause problems for you. So you want to make sure you get in here with a Q-tip or a small brush and clean that out anytime you're cleaning your machine. And then that seal just goes into that channel there like that. And then there's a spring here that goes into here. And then you're going to take your handle assembly and just put that spring right over there like that. Put this on here and just tighten it up. Now, one thing you want to make sure of is that you're past this little knob on the door here, because it'll tighten down crooked if you're not on there right. So just go ahead and tighten that up, and then if you notice that you've got any leakage, so you can tell if there's leakage here, you can see where the leakage is coming from. It'll be obvious if it's coming from this part here or if it's coming from there. So these seals probably in a door seal every year. This one, since it's moving, because every time you extract, you're opening that up, so that seal may wear out sooner than a year. So just keep an eye on it. You may have to replace that every 3 to 6 months, but just something to keep an eye on. So and that's it. And then one last thing to cover when you're running product through this machine is that once you reach your viscosity, and that is the thickness with which you want your product, you do not want to stop the beater motor. So you're going to be running in production here, and then you're going to go counterclockwise right to extraction without stopping the motor, because you won't get it to start back up. So that's just a little tip there. And all that really does is just shuts off the compressor and it stops the freezing, and then you can extract your product. You just open your door up, you have your bucket under here, and you've got your ice cream ready to go right into your gelato pan. So that covers the assembly and some maintenance tips on the Carpigiani Lab 100B. If you have any other questions about countertop batch freezers, full-size batch freezers, soft serve machines, frozen beverage machines, we're the ones that can help you out. We can match you up with the right machine and the right product to go in it to help you be successful in the frozen dessert and frozen beverage business. And you can find us online at www.slicesconcession.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.